Well, they'll be calling you a radical, so I just got back from the Capitol. And so the Utah fairy tale goes on. Let me slowly explain this. Holy shit. That's been intense down there all month. You know, it's been, well, I've been at it for years, but what an experience. For the most people down there are very, very friendly. Even the police, which is run by the Highway Patrol, are really friendly. You know, to me, they all know me. But I got to tell you this. Today I go in, you know, I've been in there all month, mostly every day for more than a month with my sign. I walk in, this young Highway Patrol, youngest one I've ever seen is right there. You can't take that sign in there. I says, what are you talking about? I can't take that sign in there. He says, it's been in here all month. Every day it's been in there. Well, I saw you outside of that rally. I says, saw me outside at the rally. That was between lunch, so I went out there. I had nothing to do with that rally, but I went. What's that got to do with anything? Just shows you. I says, oh, you're getting political on me, huh? Whoa. So you better tell your superior. Let's have a talk about you going political. This side's been in here the whole time. Whatever. So he calls him, and the guy says, no, he's fine. And this kid, I'm like, dude, there's the problem with policing right there. Young, he needs to get schooled up. Well, I did school him up. So let's explain. Let's talk about the Supreme Court case today. Let's talk about, all my nuclear exes want to go to Texas. Let's talk about the Utah bill. And really, it's a win for Kevin Blanch, the only anti-nuclear activist you have in Utah. Oh, what about Mary? She wrote a play. What about so-and-so? It's like this, especially in Utah. I'm 7th generation here. My dad was nuked to death in the Nevada test site. I'm so connected, and I've been at this my whole life. I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm an anti-nuclear. What's Fukushima? If you've not been screaming your head off about Fukushima every single fucking day since it happened, 5,100 and change, you're a fraud. You're exactly what they want. So let's get to the bill, then we'll talk about the Supreme Court case. So the bill. This is the fraud of these Utah state senators. Now, Ann Milner sponsored the bill. Now, Ann Milner was the dean at Weber State when I was the student professor there when we were the #1 school business in the country. She was the president of the university, not the dean, the president of the university when the #1 school business in the United States, a public entity, was beating, a private entity was beating all the public entities, beating Wharton, beating Harvard for all those years. Right as soon as she come in, that all ended. She's the one that sold our school business to Warren Buffett and handed it over to China. Now, it was orchestrated through the Utah state legislators' supply chain. She's the one who did that. Now they're under investigation for selling state secrets to China by the FBI. I've been screaming, Ann Milner did that. So Ann Milner sponsored this bill. Now this gets better. So she sponsored the bill. I'm talking to state senators, whatever. And even I talked to 2-3 different ones. We're not really. They still voted for it. It went almost right down party lines, which blows my mind. I mean, so it passed the nuclear hub. What is this bill? This bill is to advance fairytaleism. The Jackalope Factory. This has been going on. Now, remember, I fought with the central line hanging out of my jugular vein from the LDS East Saborn on Blue Castle. Remember that dog and pony show? And we're going to get a nuclear reactor. That was in 2011. Remember? New scale. Remember? Right out of your bill. So Utah funded that $1 billion that came out of your Rocky Mountain power bill. Right out. It's called AMPS. $1 billion new scale ripped us off. From 2010 till just last year. The CEO comes up, we got off why keep beating a dead horse? Remember, we're going to have 19 nuclear reactors, 24 nuclear reactors, SMRs in Utah by 2019. Brigham City. And they went to these mayors, Kaysville, Murray, Logan, Smithfield. Here's $200,000. Promote it so we can rip you off. Nothing. They just ripped us off. So I want your other sister. So now Ann Milner and Governor Cox says he went to France. And this is what kills me. Utah claims they're free marketers. John Coltrane Curtis told me right to my face that we need to let the free market settle on coal. Yeah, the next line he says we need more nuclear. Nuclear energy is the opposite of free market. It's the most subsidized industry in the history of mankind. No, nothing's even close. Nothing's even close. So the federal subsidies, the states, they're going to have a PTA. They're going to have a bake sale at your local PTA. So free market, free market. Now, this is how Kevin Blanch got a win, big win. Down there, every single person in there knows. I mean, I'm the only person in there with any sign. I'm the only person there every day. You know, it's not that big of a place. Everybody, you know, they're like, you know, and I talk, and everybody knows me. So it's going to go through. Governor Cox says he went to France, and I call him Pepe Le Pew, the new, you know, Napoleon wannabe. So he says the rest of Europe's stupid. One of the legislators, well, Germany's regretting they shut down those nuclear reactors. I says, who told you that? Where did you read that? That's bullshit. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're sure not opening them. I mean, this is the Operation Foxconn news bullshit they read and listen to. Go to Germany. They're oh God, they're having a recession or time. They're having tough. No, they're not. No, they're compared to this fucking place. Fuck this place. I mean, it's American exceptionalism. Can't even accept exceptionalism. Can't accept where we're at. The reality of this really out of control debt. The whole freak show we live in. So this fairy tale, this Easter Bunny, the Santa Claus. I see one of the Yahoo bloggers used my term. He wrote an article just a couple of hours ago and used my term about it, called the jackalope factory. And, you know, everybody plagiarizes me. I got hundreds of them, one liner. But I'm fine with that. Don't worry about it. Go ahead and use anything I say. I don't care. But at this point, go ahead, because I've become the grassroots influencer of the influencer. No one will touch me yet. I mean, you act like you don't know. So it passes. After a long, ugly, hard, and I'm relieved it's over, but here's the win. Last Friday night in the budget, Thursday, that's where the nitty-gritty went down. So this is a hollow bill that means nothing. It means 0.0. I'll tell you what. Governor Cox, Pepe Le Pew, he talks like he's the worst governor in the history of the state. He says we want $20 million. This is what he asked for this year, and $20 million a year for the next 10 years. In the Appropriation Committee, they gave him $2 million. And for the next 10 years, now remember, I want $200 million for the next 2 years. They gave him $200,000. I said, that's just enough to pay for him to have another trip to France. It's the rest of Europe's stupid. Germany's stupid. Austria's stupid. Denmark's stupid. Italy's stupid. Spain's stupid. Oh, Italy come out and says, if you ever developed a mess of Mars, you know, that's what they say. They twist the words. Everybody's shutting them in. China's done with nuclear. Done. They're the solar kings, and we should be. So they got no money. So their fairy tale, their Easter bunny, yay. Their fucking nuclear fairy tale dream goes on and on and on. They met their match with Kevin Blanch. So to the Supreme Court case. So the Supreme Court case got heard today. Now, this is important because this is the San Onofre Drycast container case. Where's your soup can? So the Drycast container case, you know, I've been working on that from 619 to 801. You know, without Kevin Blanch, San Onofre never shuts down. I mean, that's just an unarguable fact. I'm the one that leaked all that cheating, everything going on, and exposed the corruption to Kamala Harris's office when she was the AG. Her mother at Livermore, the epidemiologist who just died of cancer, she went after him. Of course, she changed her ways when she ran for the Senate. But so it's all decommissioned. Remember, they said it cost us 50 trillion, gazillion, billion, Google dollars, and will take 50 years to decommission. It got shut down in 2013 because of Kevin Blanch and crew. That's an unarguable fact. Absolutely unarguable fact. It's done. It's all decommissioned. I mean, the only thing they got to do is Dolly Parton's got to get a mastectomy in. But all the low-level waste comes here. 2 trains a week come right here behind my house, Energy Solutions, and then the trucks come here. And so-called low limit. Now, HB 216 was to get the depleted uranium. They've been So every single governor since I was a kid has been blocking Energy Solutions, these criminal monsters, want to bring in depleted uranium. It's stockpiled all over the freaking country, big time. And the Senate and House in Utah has passed it multiple times. And every single governor, in fact, Olin Walker grew up right here, just right by me. Her mother was my first grade teacher. Her mother was my second grade teacher. Annie's my first grade TOs. She blocked it. Governor Levitt blocked it. John Huntsman blocked it. By the way, Huntsman, run against this piece of. I told him, right, and he runs when he won't do an interview. And I told Milan Miller, too. Passing this bill is going to cost them their political careers. He's easy to be plucked off. Firemen hate his guts. Teachers hate his guts. Everybody hates him. I mean, this is a little creepster. Run against him, Huntsman, again. Come on, Huntsman. Run against him. He beat you in a three-way. That was a freak. He is a freak. He's a passive-aggressive little monster is what he is. So they passed it again to get they've been trying this for 50 years. Democrat, Republican, male, female governors have always vetoed it. Always. Including Dirty Herbert backdoored it. Vetoed it. He's going to let it in. So May 7th, it'll start coming in here at Energy Solutions. So to the Supreme Court case. The Supreme Court case is the canisters. So they build a pad right there next to WIP, New Mexico, where so much of it already goes anyway. A pad for the Drycast handlers going to the pad. It's a private one. Been done. Well, the district, the Congress representative in that district says, oh, we want it. That area, we want it. Does that mean the people meant? Well, you know how it goes with political process anymore. The state of Texas says, hell no. State of Texas filed suit because the NRC, every single agency, Congress passed it. It's already I wrote the priority list. That's my list. I'm the one. San Onofre's the first on the top of the list, rightfully so. I used to say all the time, you made it, you keep it. You make nuclear waste, you eat it. That's part of your punishment. There's trillions of freaking pounds, hundreds and many thousands of tons of nuclear waste stored on site. They were never built to be stored on site. None of these reactors. So there's swimming pools on top of swimming pools on top of swimming pools, but they were never built for it. I mean, one shake away from a total, don't want to live like a Chernobyl refugee, Fukushima. And so, deadly freaking catastrophe, ticking clock. So, Yucca Mountain, of course. Well, Harry Reid, me and him used to go out. Remember in those hearings we used to go at it? Vegas doesn't want it. Vegas has grown up and they're got so much political clout now. The casino billionaire gazillionaires are like, oh, fuck no, ain't happening. So, and they sucked up all that money when we was building it. But so by federal law, clear back in the 1970s, had to. So these nuclear energy reactors that are waste stored on site, which are not public utilities, that got deregulated clear back in the 90s, the contract on America, fucking by the moral majority who's in prison for what, Haster? We're paying a fine. We, the taxpayer, pay a fine to these people that who owns them? Google. Bill Gates owns lots of them. For real. This bill that was Utah was written by Bill Gates for his Jackalope factory because that's owned by Rocky Mountain Power, which is owned by Warren Buffett. Utah. So and Price Anderson, the Immunity Act that passed this summer, they don't have to pay it back. That's what this is all about. But they didn't get the money. So the Supreme Court heard the case. So Texas says, no, you're not going to privatize it. Well, the federal government sure the fuck has done. Think what they've done over 40, 50 years. By law, Congress passed a law clear back in the 70s. By law, if you're going to build nuclear reactors, you have to have an answer for the waste. Now, there's a new documentary out on Trojan in Oregon. What a catastrophe. Watch it. That'll teach you a lot about fucking the nuclear lying fucking scumbags. All these states have moratoriums until you have an answer for the waste. You can't build one, blah, blah, blah. So the Supreme Court, the NRC's approved this. Congress has approved this. Everybody's approved it. This come up off the Drycast in San Diego onto the new train car that's all built. It's all done. The train's ready to go. All my nuclear exes go to Texas. So Texas saying, no, you can't do this under federal law, but yes, you can do it. The privatizer's saying so. This is a big, big case. Now they'll take 2-3 months to rule when they can rule on a Trump case in 3 minutes. Governor Cox got his Texas Nuclear Energy Merit Badge. So this is the good news. In Utah Energy Solutions, expanded energy solutions, they're blaming it. And the feds supposedly have classified this depleted uranium, took them 15 years to classify it through the NRC, as low level. So it's going to come here as low level. The canisters, the hotter level, which they wanted, didn't get through. The other good news, they passed HB 249. This is the nuclear waste, the nuclear hub. We're going to do experiment all over here, blah, 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 blah. But got no money. Got no money. $2 million, and you're going to pay the attorneys. These robbers, that'll go right in Governor Cox's pocket. For his other trip to Pepe Le Pew. So he go to France. Yeah, we want to be just the most subsidized industry in the history of mankind. Nuclear energy, especially in France. Remember, Arriva's the French nuclear thing over there. Remember they went bankrupt. Remember their Tower to Babel in South Carolina? The Mox fuel fairy tale that they lied to us. I mean, that's the nuclear thing. It's one lie after another. Revitrification, Mox fuel, fucking generational fast breeders. Built one, we're going to build one a month is going to go on starting in 2010 in China. I mean, so that would be, 150 so far. One. And it went into a meltdown situation. Every time one of these smaller nuclear reactors, fast breeders, has blown up. Idaho National Lab. Now, this is the irony of this. So the next bill up, all the firemen there, and the one guy I talked to, he knows his shit. Finally, somebody who actually knew what he was talking about. The firemen in Utah are our hazmat people. The firemen in Utah are the backup hazmat at Idaho National Lab. Now, remember in, 2014, 15, when all the Blackfoot, Idaho firemen were inside INL, all the barrels blew up, they had the catastrophe there. Now, I don't know if this is true, but I heard rumor 2 of them are dead of leukemia. Now, I was in the bone marrow transplant, and 2 guys from Flack Paul, his obituary is right there, both Arco, Idaho, died. So there's been multiple accidents at Idaho every time they tried. What about Santa Susana, Rocketdyne? You even know about that? That's an SMR. So what about the SMR-88 on the White Sea in Russia? Killed all the Russian nuclear physicists. What about the one in China, the Westinghouse SMR fast breeder? Blew up. We know that's factually. That's just, 2 years ago? And we know that because that's Kevin Blanch, Vienna, people, we worked so hard on that. It's called the downwinder letter. The eminent radiation, by law, if there's a nuclear accident, it was the French company that was building it that reported, and then it went to Jennifer Graham home, the Department of Energy, and she didn't put it out. She sent it, but it got leaked to CNN, and it leaked out at 12:30 in the morning somehow. I wonder who did that. And so every time an SMR, so the hazmat people in here in Utah have to go clean that shit up. So get this, Ann Milner, who took the school business to hell, she's a state representative in our district up there in South Florida, Weber State. The next bill after this bill goes up, Governor Cox broke the Firemen's Union. He broke it. I mean, they're so pissed. So this is their compensation. We'll give you cancer screening. We know firefighters get cancer at a high rate, like airplane pilots because of the fuel. Like children of the atomic veteran nuked to death. That's my work, 16 times higher than mean. Unanimously passed. Oh no, 4 people abstained. Didn't vote. Ann Miller didn't vote for it. Wow. I mean, this drug doesn't matter if it has 12 views or 23. And boy, I see the trolls are coming at me. Team up on Facebook, freaking all over. They're still at me, trying every dirty trick in the book on me. I don't get no funding. James from Blank, or James from the Bay, his cool AI songs. Thank you to him. Lewis has got some issues. By the way, he's in Texas. Whoa. Hang in there, brother. So, the Supreme Court case if it passes, Senate will come up on the pad on the trend because the Congress passed the priority bill. I wrote the bill, but it's basically my bill, working with Mike Levin in District 49. It's got through. Now, remember, he got $20 million through, but for this, and the other, and he promised I'd get a piece of it on the consent-based hearing, which I do all the work on the speaker and the consent. Guess how much I got? I was just talking about this to some people. I says, it's amazing. I do all this fucking dirty work, my tide pool work. This girl come up to me and she says, oh, you're the biologist, you know? And she says, yeah, you're the tide pool guy. In the Capitol. Yeah. That's me. The salmon work, the gray wells work, the humpback well work, the crab well, all the salmon work, the steelhead work. I think about the body of work. I do the work of fucking 100 biologists. I don't get any money. And I give, and I give, and I give myself. That's a lot of work down there all day, every day. It's stressful. It's really stressful. But they branded themselves in history, and so did I. This is a total bullshit, nothing, fairy tale, crock of shit. And then woman standing outside, and they got the new nuclear map. And I videoed, this is the nuclear waste place. Oh, yes, we want it. I says, how old are you? Can I just ask? No offense. She says, I'll be 80 this year. I says, 80? And you're still in politics? You're still wanting to deal with nuclear outages? Shouldn't you be retired somewhere, enjoying the rest of your life? Oh, no, we really want... Sickos. I guess they want to poison the planet on their way out. So Governor Cox, he has labeled himself in history. So has Ann Milner. All of them have. They're so labeled in history. This is going to look like the biggest moron. I mean, well, it's just plain evil. After NewScale rips off all this money. So the Supreme Court heard the case. Now, which way will it go? I don't know. Because it's quite the dichotomy. Because you have this radical, far to the right Supreme Court. But, you know, they're all about states' rights, right? On one side, and Texas says no. On the other side, you know, states versus the feds. The feds say, yeah, you can do it. Congress already passed it. On the other side, they're free market, right? The right's free market. So why not private? They're privatizing everything else, but yet here's nuclear, the complete opposite of free market. There's nothing more opposite than the free market than nuclear energy. It's the most subsidized industry in the history of mankind by a billion gazillion fucking times. Here's John K. Troll Curtis right to my face. It's online. Well, we got to let the free market set the market on coal. Next sentence. We need more nuclear energy. And I said, you just said you're just a free market guy. Nuclear's the opposite of free market. It's the most subsidized bullshit freaking thing. And so the Nuclear Hub Act got through, but it didn't get through because Kevin Blanch. You know, a lot of work, and I had serious talks with some high ranking people in the predominant religion of this faith, and I know they put some pressure on. You know, Trump cutting the budget was trickling down into Utah. By the way, I'm getting ready to go on Social Security, and I don't get a lot because I haven't, you know, because I was an entrepreneur all those years. But I just got a letter from the state because I got a letter 2-3 months ago. I was going to get, you know, I'm not even going to get $1,000 a month, less than that. And I got a letter from the state yesterday saying they're going to cut 33% out of that. So instead of getting $900, I'm going to get $600. That just happened yesterday. I got the letter. So they're already cutting Medicaid. Trump said he wouldn't. They're already doing it. You know, because it's run state by state. Remember, they kicked me off Medicare when I was in the Bow after I forked over $1 million Tesla stock. Remember, I lived in the bone marrow transplant right across from the Capitol. I lived there for a long time. I have AML de novo. I'm a 1% cancer survivor. My father nuked to death in the Nevada test site. You know, I do all that work at INL National Lab. You know, Blake, my friend, owns the time. I know everything that goes on up there. But ignore me. But you can run to Mary. She wrote a play. She's an anti-nuclear. Oh, people tell me, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? These people are not anti-nuclears. They're not environmentalists. They're astroturf bullshit fucking, you know, made for television protests, Fox News pro-Trump protests, anti-Trump protests from MSNBC. I don't play in that game. I mean, so it's interesting. I don't know how the Supreme Court's going to rule, but it's a big ruling. You know, that Texas pad will open up privatizing the nuclear waste, which is very dangerous. But what's the alternative? The government? We've seen what the government's done for 50 years. Nothing! Fucking, this shit's stored everywhere. And that's my thing. Okay, what, these smaller SMRs, there's not waste there? So you want to experiment here, huh? Right here behind my house. Westinghouse is right there. The Trident missile silos are right there behind my house. I live in Little Mountain, Utah. Every time they've ever been tried, they've blown up, including the fast breeder SMR in China that blew up, just 2 years ago. We know that factually. Everybody's giving up. Oh, Germany's wishing they weren't. Where did you read that? On fucking Fox News? Oh, they got a new far right fucking... No, they didn't. That fucking politician, that's 6 parties, 7 parties sometimes. 5 parties, 6. It's a coalition government. It moved about that far. He already come out and said, no, we're not refiring up. No, they know. Angela Merkel was a nuclear physicist. She said point blank, Fukushima. They know in Germany. Remember Oppenheimer? The best nuclear physicists in the world are Germans. They want the bomb first, they'll get it. So the Z state, the apartheid state, President Netanyahu, who runs this country, well, obviously he's leading Cox around. Just like before him, it was President Kissinger. I'm not playing. So this bill got through. So the $220 million over 10 years, $20 million a year, they got $2.2 million. The 10-year thing, we'll revisit it. Ain't happening. Pepe Le Pew, Governor Cox, the worst governor in the history, broke the firemen's union. I mean, they all hate him. Broke the teachers union. Oh, that's a big block. Pulled money away from all kinds of shit to give to himself for the nuclear energy fairy tale. And he claims he's free market. But he wants to be like France, the most anti-free market government in the world, France. Which they're nuclear, and they're already bitching and thing. Look, since 2011, you can start talking 20 nuclear reactors shut down in Germany. They're not going back. It's like, oh, yeah, they refired them up in Japan. Now it's coming out, oh, the big K and the big N both, we were going to refire them up. We're delayed that again. I thought they were already fired up. There ain't shit refired up. That's 50-something down. Belgium's taking them offline. South Korea's taking them offline. Taiwan's taking them offline. China's shutting them all fucking down. Fucking constant. We got to catch up with China. What are you talking about? Fucking this fairy tale bullshit media. Bill Gates is he's pulling the strings here. Bill Gates wrote this bill. The Cox said. I mean, literally, his foundation. I'm talking to him. That's who wrote it. Same one who wrote Price-Anderson, the Advanced Nuclear Act, which is all pork and propaganda. Stephen Bechtel on the Hill, 2007 or 8. You're paid to put triple liners around at Hanford, and you didn't. Why? I don't have to. He threw it right back on Congress. You're the one that passed Price-Anderson. I can do whatever we want with the money. What did you do with the money? Hired PR firms to attack anti-nuclear energy activists. Well, boy, they go after me. And thank you, everybody has supported the historic work away, but that was a long time ago. Nobody supports my work anymore. James, he's awesome. We love him. He's a great activist. He's turning himself in quite the important one. So I'm relieved as hell. The Fukushima anniversary coming up. I'll get that handled too. I just keep doing my work, and I'm relieved of this. I mean, I'm real. It went through today. There was talk they were going to get rid of it, talking about the bill it's a nothing. It has no teeth to it, has no guts in it. Just like their SMRs, 24 of them. It's just a way to rip off money. Remember, they're going to have 24 nuclear reactors in Utah by 2019. There are none. It's just thieving you, and the fairy tale goes on. So, good on you, man. Pacific Ocean dies. Stock market makes all-time highs. We had this talk with this young woman about biology. I'm like, it's an outlier. You can argue with it. And then the geological map people and I'm talking, I'm the guy, they were talking about the heat, the fires. And we had a conversation. I said, this fire event, is that? Oh, yeah. I said, it started in 2011. Yeah, we know that. I said, I'm the guy that named it, predicted it all? You are? Yeah, I named it the Great Western North American Heat Dome. Do you know how much acreage is burned in this heat dome? Which I already predicted that in 2011. By the way, Trump says, you in Idaho, you need to rake up your forest. More acreage has burned per acre in Idaho than per capita than California. Fuck, 20% of every square inch of fucking real estate over the Great Western North America fucking heat dome has burned since 20. It's such a major event nobody's talked to. You know, and then they're talking about the Great Salt Lake was a perfect level. More of my work, all my work. And we were talking. I says, you can't argue with me anymore. She says, oh, I'm not arguing with you. You know, you're on it. It's called an outlier, and we know it happened in 2011. So we know something radically happened on the salmon, on the tide pools, on the whale starvation, global warming. No, the ocean just rose 7 because nuclear meltdowns are hot. Global warming is going like this. We know that something triggered. It's unarguable. That's called an outlier in science. We know in 2011 something happened. I says, did a meteor strike the ocean? I could do it. Did Krakatoa form? No. How about 4 nuclear meltdowns fucking pushed into the Pacific? Never happened. Chernobyl, never happened. First time in human history. And Utah's so fucking got their heads so far up their fucking ass. They're, see no nuclear energy. Speak no. We want more. Governor Cox, he's an ignorant fool. Ann Miller branded herself Sonic. God, she's evil. God, she is evil. Sold our school business to China. Ruined it. Blackballed Kevin Blanch. I mean, wow. And then she's the bill on that. And then only 4 of the 29 senators abstained and didn't vote for the cancer screening for the hazmat crew, which are firemen in Utah. You know, that's their false equivalent. Say, oh, we're going to give you cancer, but at least we'll screen for it. She didn't vote. That's a sicko, man. That's a sicko. Like little Spencer. He talks like Bill Gates and Vladimir Putin. Yeah, worst governor in the history. You know, I'm like, well, what are you afraid of this? Why you can't stand up? Well, Kev, you know, that's how they talk. And I'm like, well, it's really just kind of we'll wait and see type of bill. Yeah, that's my work. Has no money in it. So the fairy tale goes on in Utah. It's been going on for a long fucking time, at least in 2010. New scale from hell in there. SMR, the SMR, and this is all to block solar. Oh, we need the moron from Davis County says, oh, solar wind can't. Fuck, solar can handle like this. All you got to do is have rooftop fucking net meter, and you keep charging the fee. This is all a backdoor bill by the coal industry and the nuclear. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and crew. To fucking, because they know California producing 200% solar a day. Why we got TikTok here? By the way, Status King Cuomo, who started this whole bailout on the nuclear reactor, $7.6 billion in New York, now he's going to run for governor. That piece of, you know, he gave him $7.6 billion on 9 Mile Point, Fitzpatrick, Gianni. Remember that shut? We did get Indian Point shut down. We got Oyster Creek shut down. We got fucking all of them shut down in Jersey. We got fucking Senator Everett shut down. Dwayne Arnold fucking shut down. Palisades shut down. 3 Mile Island shut down. Kevin Blanch crew also. We're going to reopen, and they ain't going to reopen shit. They're just going to take money from you. Lip service you. Fucking nuclear energy, nuclear propaganda, right? Nuclear's done. And Utah's like, yeah, we live your fucking fairy tale. Go ahead. Hope you don't get cancer, all of you. That's told every one of them. Talk about throw cancer karma on you. Go for it, man. I was given too much to live. I fight the good fight. So I didn't just save you from you in Utah is a real motherfucker. Stay tuned. I'm relieved, but that bill is a nothing. Because Kevin Blanch and crew got the money pulled out of it. So, Paul, my buddy, I remember right when he was dying on his deathbed, Kevin, keep fighting for the steelhead, because, you know, we both spent so much of our life in Idaho. You know, and he was a big steelhead fisher. Kevin made me promise. He had to calm me down while he was dying. Born and raised at Arco, Idaho. You know what got him. Kevin, keep fighting for the steelhead, for the salmon. You know, I used to love to fish for him, and he was always a catch and release guy. Yeah, I haven't forgotten. I made promises. I says, I will. And I am. Stay tuned.